Aquarius, Aquarius sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign. This is a 2-week reading for all you Aquarius starting today, the 29th of October 2023. We're streaming live on YouTube and on Twitch. Moderating today on YouTube is the lovely Jennifer, and moderating on Twitch is the lovely Delene. Thank you so much, Jennifer, and thank you so much, Delene, and thank you to everybody for joining us today, Aquarius and friends of Aquarius. I'm reading today with Tarot de Maria Celia, which is a modern interpretation of the Marseille Tarot, and I've already purified with my own organic Florida water substitute, and you can find a link on how to make your own bottle of that, including the recipe, as well as a link on how to purchase this deck by looking at the video description of this video on my YouTube channel. If you're watching this on a restream on YouTube, you can fast forward through all the shuffling if you don't want to watch it or listen to my promos by using the timestamps right in the video description. This does go out to a lot of Aquarius, so if for some reason it doesn't seem to apply to you, just disregard the reading. May not be meant for you. In that case, check out the zodiacal readings for your other signs, or remember that we have a general reading for all signs every day except for Mondays. You can find the most recent restreams of all the tarot readings on the website ariels-corner.com, Ariel's Corner with a hyphen.com, clicking on the free online tarot readings link in the main menu. I don't read with card reversals, so you will see me flipping those cards right side up in this reading. That's how I like to read. All is well, I promise. We have a shop at arielscornershop.com, arielscornershop.com. We have all kinds of stuff, including tarot decks in there. Those are all affiliate links, which means that we make a small commission off of each and every sale, and it's a fun and easy way to give our channel some support if you'd like to. Another way to support us is by a donation. If you're on YouTube, you could use a super sticker, super chat, or super thanks to give a donation. Or you could use the PayPal portal. The URL just flashes across the screen here every so often. We also have different donation links available on our website, ariels-corner.com, arielscorner.com with a hyphen. Just check in the footers of those pages. This is feeling pretty shuffled, so I think we're good to go. Thank you so much for joining us, Aquarius. I'm going to do my best for you, okay? So let's give this deck a nice clean cut. Ooh, that wasn't very clean. It was a messy cut. There we go. We'll see what's in the cards for all you gorgeous Aquarius today. We've got a 7 of Wands and 4 of Wands and our lovely, beautiful Magician card. Let's start with the Magician. You don't owe anybody an explanation. I know that's hard, but you don't. Not only that, but you don't need people to like you. Ooh, that's a tough one. You don't need people to like you. If people don't like you, they don't like you. Right? That's their prerogative. You don't need to manage anybody's perception of you, because other people's opinions of us drain us of our energy when we obsess over them or when we think that they matter. Because we've been trained that they matter. We've been trained that they matter. We think that our safety depends on people liking us and approving of us and, thinking of us in certain ways. And our safety does not depend on those things. Our safety depends on our connection with infinite intelligence. And that's why when you do a protection spell, you don't do a protection spell by saying, I command every single person on the planet to like me. That's not going to protect you. What you do is you call on infinite intelligence in whatever form that you understand that to be, and you call upon divine protection. You command that you're protected, that you're safe. You might put wardens up or wards up. You might see, brilliant white light or golden light. There's all kinds of ways, but it has nothing to do with what other people think of you, how safe you are, right? So this idea that I need to make sure that people like me, that people think of me in a certain way, is inauthentic. It's a huckster. And we don't mean to be hucksters when we do that. We're just trying to protect ourselves. But you see that that's a faulty understanding of what protection is. Right? So you don't need anybody's opinion to be a certain way in order for you to be safe. And it's a big, big deal, Aquarius. And this is the time to just finally get that. And that doesn't, and some people, when they hear that, they do the same thing in reverse, and they go out and make sure that people don't like them, and they're jerks, and they're asses, and they're just mean, or whatever, or flippant, or, you know, or do things to get people to not like them, because they think that that's the kind of power. That's real power. That's just the same thing. It's still you being concerned with what people think of you. What you need to be concerned with is what you think of you and what you think of other people. That's where your power lies. That's where your power lies. You know, if you're a teacher, and your job is to, like for kids, your job is to make sure that they're educated, not that they love you, not that they like you. But if you really do care about them, and you really do use methods that are good for them to learn, of course they're going to love you. Of course they're going to like you. And if they don't, they don't. But the same thing goes with everybody else. Of course people are going to like you. Most people are going to like you because you're likable. But it's not because you're trying to get them to like you. As soon as you try to get them to be a certain way, they don't like you. Because they're feeling manipulated, and they don't understand what it is, but they're feeling manipulated by you. So let's get off of that and get back to work here, because what you're supposed to be doing is getting stuff together. You're supposed to be getting your workspace together. You're supposed to be finishing projects. You're supposed to be on fire with your work. And if you're wasting your time worrying about other people's opinion of you, you are not doing your job. So you've got to let that go and get back to work, because there's a lot that you're supposed to be doing right now. And I think you are doing it. It's just that you're not doing it 100% because you're afraid. You're afraid that you need to tap dance. You're afraid that you maybe need to entertain. You're afraid that you need to make sure that people don't see you for who you really are. So look over there, look over here. Let's play the shell game, so that you don't see who I really am, because if you see who I really am, you're going to hate me, and then you might hurt me. You see? That's way off the mark. That's way off the mark. They're not going to hate you. They're not going to hurt you. And if they do hate you, that's on them. But you're protected because of who you are, not because of what you're doing about them. Okay, so this 7 and this 4 both are very important cards that are talking about how your work in the world and your career is where your focus needs to be. You're in the middle of a big upgrade, and you've got to focus. You got to focus on what's in front of you to do, not on your ideas of other people. It's a big trick of the ego to get you to not focus on what's important. There's so much work for you to do that the universe needs you to do. Some of that work is work on yourself. Some of that work is work on your career. I mean, everybody's different, but you know what the work is that you're supposed to be doing. You're very clear on that. So don't waste your time. So here, this 8, obsessing over other people. Obsessing over other people. So when you see yourself churning about other people, churning about trying to make sure that other people don't see the real you, or whatever that is, churning, you need to shut that down. I like using the off switch, but you can use any technique you like. If you don't know how to use the off switch, just go to YouTube and search Gatoga off switch and learn how to use that technique and shut that obsessive part of your mind down, because all that's doing is trying to distract you from the prosperity, distract you from the work that's to be done. And this Hanged Man card over here is you not saying no. Is you haven't learned how to say no and put your foot down. Part of what you need to say no to and put your foot down is your thinking, is your own mind. But also part of what you need to say no to are these people. You can't just let them do what they want to do because you don't want to be, mean, or you don't want them to dislike you or whatever. Sometimes you have to stand up to people and you can be nice. You don't have to be mean, but you do have to say what you mean. There's a saying in Al-Anon, say what you mean, but don't say it mean, which is a horrible grammar, but it it's a decent thing to think of. You don't have to be cruel or forceful or attacking in order to put your foot down, but you do need to put your foot down, both with yourself and with other people. And if they don't like it, they don't like it. It really doesn't affect you. I know you're afraid that it does, but it doesn't, Aquarius. You are sovereign. And I'd like to just also point out that you are very beloved. You are very beloved by the universe. So if you're putting other people's, so your creator, whatever you like to call that, let's just call it God because there's so many different people tuning in, but call it what you want. God loves you so much. And you saying that this person's opinion is so important is saying they're more important than God, which means that you're turning them into an idol. And so you've got idol worship going on with other people when you do that. It's not what you mean to do, but it's exactly what you're doing. You don't want to worship other people as idols. You don't want to bow down to other people. You want to bless other people. You want to be kind to other people. You want to work with people, but they're not idols. They don't have power over you. You have very, very important work to do. And so it's time for you to just learn to say no when you mean no. And yes when you mean yes. And this is something that has been a problem for you in the past because you're afraid of saying no to yourself. And you're also afraid of saying no to other people because you are afraid that you don't want to be, well, I don't know why you're afraid, but many times, many of us are afraid that, well, we don't want to be rude. We don't want to be mean. We want to keep the peace. We want to have harmonious relationships. If you can't say no to somebody, there is no harmony in that relationship. There is no harmony in that relationship. That person's getting something that you're not getting. But what they're not getting is honesty from you. What they're not getting is authenticity from you. And if you're not being authentic with another person, then that relationship isn't authentic either. And it's not got any of the real value that relationship is supposed to have. So if you want to turn and transform these relationships that you have with people from this into holy relationships, you've got to shut down that temptation to just let things be whatever they are and not say no. And not say no. You've got to say no to people. You've got to say no to people when you mean no. And yes when you mean yes. You've got to let yourself be who you are. That doesn't mean that you have to share all your secrets with everybody. Of course not. You can keep your secrets, but you don't, that's the point. You don't owe them anything. You don't owe them your secrets, but you also don't owe them a version of you that you think that might be palatable for them. Because there's nothing wrong with you, Aquarius. Remember, infinite intelligence loves you. God loves you completely, just the way you are, quote, warts and all. You don't have to do anything to earn God's love. So if that's true, that should be enough. And what other people think of you is literally none of your business. So remind yourself of that and get busy getting wealthy. Look at all this wealth. Look at all this wonderful work that you're supposed to be doing. And a lot of your time and energy is being wasted on living your life through other people's eyes. Let's stop that this instant. Let's stop that this instant. And you're going to be so surprised at how much freer you are and how much wealthier you are and how much more successful you are when you can learn how to put your foot down both to yourself and to other people. You can find a couple of meditations if you want to help to sort of like optimize all this. For the Hanged Man, it's called Using Your Sacred Power of No. And for the Magician, it's called Letting Go of Others' Opinions. And you can find both of those in the Tarot Meditations page. The link to that page is right in the video description of this and every other tarot video on YouTube. Thank you so much, Aquarius. You're going to do great. Just don't let other people steal your power. And I will see you in 2 weeks. Thank you so much to the amazing moderators, Jennifer and Delene. And we'll see you in 2 weeks, Aquarius. Blessed be.